is Jarkko from Bloodred Hourglass, and you're watching GRIMM TV.
To begin with, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Quite okay. I mean, the sun is away a little bit now.
Yeah, we'll leave. Fall is coming, but it's kind of cool. Looks beautiful outside, so can't complain, you know.
I've noticed that you guys have been able to at least play some gigs now, like past summer.
Yeah, that's correct.
So I guess, well, nothing to complain about there either, in some regard.
Yeah, we played 2 festival shows this year, just like the previous summer. So that seems to be the basic COVID protocol for us at least. So yeah, I need to be very thankful for even those 2 shows per year, since there's a lot of bands who haven't seen a stage for a lot longer period of time. So I feel privileged, but of course super eager to get back ASAP as well.
Probably everyone.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Well, anyway, we're here kind of to talk about your upcoming new album with Bloodred Hourglass, Your Highness. Well, I'm guessing you're pretty excited about it coming out soon.
Yeah, for sure we are. It's been quite a long journey. It's been ready for over a year now, the album, so definitely feels really good to finally get it out for people to hear and whole. And yeah, what can I say? It's sort of like a new start for us, since a lot has changed. We don't have our main old songwriter anymore in the game, so we were facing a bit of a challenge with the album. And it's safe to say we're super happy with the results.
And by things changing and like not having your old songwriter around, did it kind of push you towards like doing things a little bit like differently or try new things?
Yeah, we wanted to produce something completely new and fresh. We all just felt that even though we are in a situation which may be a little bit of a tough spot for us, like how are we gonna continue, who's gonna write and what, and how is it gonna work? When we started to create the new songs, we kind of went with the approach that this is the time where we want to change our outcome a little, bring in something fresh. It just would have felt so, uninspiring to do the same 3 albums, more or less the same sound all over again. So it was very apparent it's time for some sort of a change. And obviously when earlier like 95% of the song material came from one person only, it's pretty strict to the sound it was. And now all of a sudden we had 4 or basically 6 people contributing to the songwriting process from the very beginning. So it was truly a team effort, a group effort, and everyone has a lot of input on that album. And yeah, that's how it changed and shaped up to be what it is today.
Yeah, I thought with God Send that you already like took like a step to next level. Yeah. Like I listened to your music before, but for me personally it never clicked. But with God Send I was like, oh yeah, they're going places. With this one I again have that feeling like you're again at cool. Like a level higher or going to a level higher.
Yeah, that's the way I see it myself as well. I mean, obviously we're still stand fully with everything we've done, at least especially since Where the Oceans Burn, but yeah, production-wise, sound-wise, we really geared up on Godsend, and it was kind of easy to continue from where we left off with the production. But then again, when it comes to the actual songs, we wanted to create something different, like I said. But I agree completely. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I saw it in a couple of the posts you made on social media and some of the press releases that you bring up quite regularly the term like modern metal, and this is how modern metal should be and stuff like that. And I agree.
Cool.
I kind of found it interesting that like it still very much sounds like you guys, but like a couple of like new things that like popped out for me when I was listening to the album was like on a couple of songs like a little bit more heavy use of like synthesizer keyboards.
Correct.
Which I thought was a really nice addition, without like taking any of the like power away.
Yeah, that's true, and we wanted to, you know, give them a bigger role on the album, and also playing with the soundscapes of the album. We wanted to create a bit of a more modern approach with everything, like have those bigger sounding samples and keyboards back there, and yeah, you know, really just, you know, modernize the sound a little, try to keep it fresh.
And does that mean like that since you're kind of leaning towards maybe giving keyboards a bigger role, that you might be looking like to have like an actual keyboard player in the band, or not really?
I think that's something it's never been discussed. To be honest, I think it seems a bit far away. I mean, we have 3 guitar players. I'm still not sure how much of sense that actually makes. But you know, Eero contributed so much to the new song material, so it just felt so logical to have him included in the band. And at least we got a proper wall with the rhythm guitars now coming out from the PA on festivals. So yeah, it works well, and the stages are getting bigger, so it's not about the amount of people in the band anymore, which is cool to see, obviously.
Yeah. But I also noticed that on a couple of songs, you use distinctively more clean vocals, which was a really nice like change of pace, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, you know, from the very first demos that I received from the guys, it was clear that I just cannot scream it through anymore. So I need to come up with a better plan, so to say. And I've been, you know, being willing to include the clean vocals for a while. It's never been a no-no for the clean vocals. And now, you know, the songs, they just breathe so much more that I just feel so natural, and there's so much more dynamic in the songs, inside the songs, so I think they fit very well. And now it's kind of obviously kind of a step into a unknown to start singing all of a sudden, but I'm, you know, super glad and happy that they're finally there.
Yeah, I was especially surprised, for instance, on, what was it? Tell me about tomorrow. Yesterday, that it was mostly clean vocals. Like I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. How much was that for you? Like was that like a big challenge for you to like get through that?
I kind of had my, you know, clear vision how I want to come out with them. I'm not such a powerful voiced singer at all, so I just felt that to create more dynamics and more contrasts there, I just want to, you know, you get a lot closer to your listener when you sound a bit fragile, and that's some sort of element that I wanted to bring in with the clean vocals. And I kind of like the contrast between sounding a bit harsh and weaker, so to say. So.
Yeah, well, to me it sounded really good.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot.
It was also like somewhere like almost in the middle, so it was like a nice like breaking point in a way.
Yeah, and also tell me about yesterday. That's a song where for the first time ever in my history we were in a studio and it was cold, like really cold. We were in this cottage in the middle of nowhere recording the album, and that was the second last song that I was doing, Tell Me About Yesterday Tomorrow, and I completely blew my voice during the recording process of that song, and you can hear it on the album. Like it's starting to break down in the midsection of the song, and I couldn't continue. We still had one more song remaining, so I had to reschedule the recording of the last song, postpone it for like 2 weeks to get my voice back. It was actually really bad, and I'm so happy it's captured there when you're starting to break down completely, but you know, it wasn't healthy of course anymore, so whatever.
It's a cool little thing to know.
Yeah.
From what I read, the album also kind of deals a lot with kind of the balance between like good and bad in life,
Sure.
and that's like permeated through every single song. It's like a
It's
running.
pretty much the theme of the album. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
lost chances of life and love. That's kind of what we came up with this one, and sad album. Obviously, there's not that much positive vibes on the album. It's sort of like a diary. You know, I just wanted to put all the shit from our past, from all of us, mostly me and the other Jarkko. Just felt like we need to put stuff like that over there, and it just felt so logical, so to say. There's a lot of emotion packed, and I think you can hear that on the record.
Yeah.
Life hurts sometimes, and it's great to have a way to put it all out, you know. And I hope listeners can relate to the lyrics, because it's everyday life, relationships gone south, more or less. So.
Yeah, that's good music to go wild on when you're feeling like shit.
Yeah, exactly. Well said.
It was also cool to see that, or to hear that, like, we're talking about like more modern approach and modern metal and such. But I felt on this album especially there was a whole lot of kind of looking back too. I heard a lot of like classic heavy metal, like Iron Maiden like stuff, and the kind of old school thrash metal and such mixed through it, which I thought was a really cool balance again between like.
Yeah, you can find a lot of stuff from the album. I mean, I think we have some Scandic melodies included there, and we have, like I said, talking about the term modern a lot, but I just absolutely love metalcore as well. Like bands like Architects or even Bring Me the Horizon and stuff like that. They just are so close to my heart, always been. And that was a bit of like the direction that I wanted to get included in our sound, but still not to forget our past and roots and all the old school stuff and vibes. So there's a lot, you know.
It was just cool to notice, because a lot of the classic melodic death metal bands, like especially from Sweden, were kind of like the melodic part was kind of inspired by bands like Iron Maiden and so on. So it's kind of cool to see that come back again in like a modern metal band.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I'm not sure how old school we sound to the listeners in general, but that was one of the key points. You know, just have super wide variety with the sound of the album, and kind of felt we succeeded.
Yeah. Yeah, and sound of the album, and between the different songs, I mean, there's like crazy hard, like thrasher, but then there's like that almost like vulnerable song that's in there. So like it's a very nice like balance overall.
A lot of harshness, but there's also a lot of stuff that sounds very fragile. So.
Yeah, I think that's how I suspect that you're gonna get noticed a bit more now again.
Of course, you want to gain more listeners as well. So
now you have also like a couple of bonus tracks. How did they become bonus tracks? Were they like leftover or didn't fit?
They were not left. I think we recorded a total of 14 songs, and from the very get-go, it was clear that we're not going to include them all. So the label wanted to create a special edition type of thing. Of course, you need some extra. And after we had the first mixes, maybe not the first ones, but let's say the final mixes from Henrik from the studio, it kind of, those 3 tracks, I'm not sure if they were that strong. Maybe they are for some, but they just didn't fit the album concept that well. So kind of decided that okay, these 3 shall be extra.
I was kind of guessing that a little bit, that it just didn't fit with
that's
the whole flow of the album.
That's more like it.
I remember at least one of the 3 songs I was really like, ooh, this sounds really cool.
Okay.
But yeah, I was kind of guessing that it was a let's still give them.
But that was the plan, like originally the plan to have some extra as well.
No. Now, I forgot to ask that. Like, you called your album Your Highness.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that come from?
Us looking upwards to the females of our life and our past life.
Okay. Yeah.
I like girls. Simple, you know?
Yeah.
That's about it. I mean, it's just appreciation
Mm-hmm.
by all means. And like I said, unfortunately, it's not good vibes only this time, but...
Yeah, it was just like I was trying to figure out where it fit with like the good and the bad, and then Your Highness. And the artwork is kind of nice in that regard too, because it also speaks like looking up to the feelings, but then also the duality sort of.
Exactly.
Nice work.
Thank you. I did the colors. Yeah, that's a cool story. Originally, back in the days, that was like 3 years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I came across that graphic somewhere on Google. It was a Pinterest, you know, a photo, and I just looked at, wow, this is kind of cool. That would be a perfect, like a T-shirt design. And I just saved that one on the computer, and like, all of a sudden, when we were planning to create a cover art, we were struggling a bit with the options and didn't really find the one that everyone would have been happy with. And then I came across that one, and I kind of had to go back and try to find it from online, and I did, and I contacted the artist, Tattoo Sal, who lives in the US, and he was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And I obviously had to ask for the permission from the model that's in the photo, as well as the photographer of the photo that the model has. But everyone was like, yeah, good to go, guys. Sounds like a plan, and they also really like the final result. So
I kind of like it too, because it breaks a little bit away from your other albums' artworks. Like, it's less busy, more like centered, focused.
That's correct, and that was kind of one of the plans that we wanted to include to the new Bloodred thing. You know, overall, just, you know, it's time for a change. So let's try something different. Even though Tuomas Koivunen, who's been doing the previous one, is a super talented and nice guy, and
it was never bad, the artwork, but it's like a very, to me at least, like obvious break again with things. So
that was the plan. So
well, good job again.
Perfect.
So now the album is coming out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, right? 22nd.
Yeah. And you're planning to finally, maybe, hopefully, have your Helsinki show.
Finally, maybe, hopefully. I just received the information today that unfortunately.
No.
Let's try again in February. So the official album release show will now be our own Black Box Mikkeli show that we're gonna do in this indoor stadium, Saimaa Stadiumi. And we're gonna play the whole album from start to finish, take a little 5-minute break, and come back with the good old hits, so to say. So it's gonna be a huge show for us, the longest set list we've ever done, the biggest production we've ever had live, and that's now going to be the official album release show, and
well, at least something.
And more schedule planned as we speak. It's looking good for the winter, and hopefully we'll play as many festivals next summer as well.
Hopefully.
But yeah, Helsinki seems to be tough, you know, like really tough. It's like 4th or 5th time it gets postponed, but what can you do? It's only 50% of the capacity of the venue allowed now, so it's understandable. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna work.
Not rentable too.
Yeah.
Too bad. Hopefully, better in about half a year.
Damn.
Now, shortly still, we've been talking about modern metal and stuff, and well, it's a term that has been used a lot recently with a lot of, like, a wide variety of bands. Just was kind of wondering if there's any band that falls kind of under that modern metal category that you noticed.
Well, like I told you, really enjoy listening to metalcore myself.
Yeah.
Architects, I think that's the best example of modern metal band today. It's just absolutely tremendously awesome band. If you're looking at the more heavier side of things, like on our field, maybe Orbit Culture, I've been spinning a lot of their stuff recently. I think they're absolutely awesome, and that's like such a great example of how you modernize the traditional things. It's just phenomenal band as well.
Yeah, you just grab a bunch of basically old things that has been done
absolutely
before, but you
everything,
just
make it your own.
make it your own and give it like some extra oomph.
Exactly.
Yeah, Orbit Culture is definitely a good example. I haven't heard a single bad song of them
Someone
yet.
put us on tour together. I mean, that would fit.
And I'm really hoping that they come to visit their neighbors
Yeah.
again, or sometime. I need to see
Yeah,
them.
I'll be there. I'll be there as well.
me too. Okay, well, I think that's about it for now. Anything you would like to add still?
Not much. Give the album a shot. Hope you find something you love, please like, and really can't wait to see you all out there as soon as possible. Thanks for watching and take care.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.